And this video is a introduction and overview to how the camera parameter cues work within ReScene. First thing we're going to do here is set up by shift dragging a copy of the cue parametric camera, and we're going to drop in one of these note cards that we've gotten out of this camera parameter note card starter box. You'll notice there's a whole bunch of different parameter note cards, and the ones we're looking for here are the faux avatar camera and the faux fixed camera, which emulate these two basic camera cues that we've previously used. We're going to put in the faux avatar camera, and when you open it up, this information here is for the most part identical to and synonymous with the built-in set camera params command within Second Life. So you can Google LL set camera params, P-A-R-A-M-S, and the first result that's going to pop up is the wiki page with an in-depth explanation of how this command works. You can also, in addition to those commands, you can use three new commands that we've created here. The first one being ReScene clear camera, and what that does is that clears all of the existing camera parameters, resets everything back to default, and it's synonymous with running LL clear camera params if you're familiar with scripting. The other two are ReScene use position, POS, and ReScene use focus. What this will do is, with ReScene use pause, it's going to take the position of this cue where we've placed it, and it's going to translate that information and replace the camera underscore pause LSL function with the vector information that we passed over. Meaning it's going to take our position and pass it along and say, okay, we want to use this exact spot. If we use focus, it's going to take that information and say, we want to use this facing exactly out this way, right in front of it. And also, if you do anything with depth of field, you're going to need to use the focus a good deal more. One of the camera parameter note cards is focus on this spot, and it simply uses focus and locks the focus to true. So if you were doing something with depth of field, you would literally put that note card in and place this not facing necessarily, but sitting right on top of whatever spot you want to focus on. And it doesn't have to be the avatar, it can be wherever you want to place it. And if the camera is not focused directly on it already, it will turn towards it, and then the lens will focus everything around that area. The center area where this cue is will become clear and in focus, and everything else will be out of focus. The main thing with the way that camera parameters works here is you'll notice if you use one particular camera parameter note card at one time and then use it in a different scene or in a different set of conditions, it can behave entirely different, and it can be a little frustrating and confusing at first, but that's the fun of this. It takes a little finesse and trial and error to figure it out, but the order of the cues, the way that you position them together, is going to affect how things work. So as an example of that, we're going to use this faux avatar camera. First we're going to watch the avatar from over there, and then we're going to come over here right at 5.25 seconds, right as we stop walking. And after we cue that parametric camera, again, we don't want to cue this at the exact same time, 5.25, because then it's sending two at the same time. It's sending it mixed signals. We want to, instead, we're going to move that out to 5.5, and we're going to put the note card in it is slow turn cam. Now, since, let's see this, watch the way that the scene runs now, the camera is going to turn towards the avatar at At that point, when he stops walking, the camera starts out back here and moves slowly and gradually in and zooms to look where the avatar is looking. Now, using the same, exact same slow turn cam here, if prior to it our camera is moved over here, we have a completely different effect. The camera is going to start here, and then it's going to trigger the slow turn camera, which says basically try to orientate yourself behind the avatar with a lag of approximately 3 seconds. You'll see it lasts even longer than 3 seconds as it rotates all the way around to turn itself behind the avatar and then slowly comes to rest facing, looking off where the avatar is looking. So that basically covers camera parameters. If you're not eager to mess around with the nuts and bolts of how it works, it's something where you've already got a good deal of camera parameters and just can focus on how you set them up together and probably find other people who are making and willing to share camera parameters. If you are interested in it, you can do a ton of stuff and adjust any of these variables any way you want to create an infinite number of different camera effects and transitions and whatnot. One final thing is the reason why I recommend using this parametric camera instead of the fixed camera and avatar camera is you have the granular control of opening this note card up and adding another line such as camera focus offset. Make sure to put a comma at the end of that statement and that the last one does not have a comma. And we want it to be offset, not left, right, back or forwards, but up or down. We want it to be 0.6 meters up. So it'll still work as an avatar camera, but instead of focusing directly on the center of the avatar, we're going to look up about 0.6 meters, which should focus more on the avatar's head in the center of the screen, instead of having it focus right on the center of the avatar. So that covers camera parameters. Thank you so much for watching and helping